all, spooky friends, and welcome to another Storytime episode with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And I'm really out of breath.
She just ran up the stairs because she was bringing up her coffee. So I guess I'll take the rest of the intro. So thank you to everyone who's joining us right now, whether you're listening in the normal sense via podcast or whether you're joining us live at youtube.com/scarish or twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. We appreciate you nonetheless. I will say that we are going to be reading some homegrown horrors on this Storytime episode. Robin, what's a homegrown horror if you have the breath?
So, homegrown horrors are the stories of supernatural, spiritual, paranormal experiences that you, your friends, or family have had and are willing to share with us, and we get to share them with the rest of our spooky friends.
Indeed. So thank you to everyone who sent a story, because we're going to be reading 4. I know I have a medium and a long, and you have a medium and a long. So thank you to those folks. I'm sure if you're listening, you're going to hear it and be like, oh my God, that's my story. But if you have a story that you would like to send to us, please do so. You can email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us, and there's a form to fill out. It comes directly to us. And you can also message us on any of our social medias. We got Facebook, which is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter's @scarishpod. Instagram is @scarishpodcast. Those are the ways to reach out to us, and we recommend you do so if you would like to share, or if you want to just talk to us and tell us about your story and you don't even want it shared on the podcast. We get some of those too, and we're totally okay with it. But that said, we got 4 to get to tonight. I think I'm going first, unless you want to go first.
You can go first.
Okay.
I have Iran stuck in my head now.
Because she was running up the stairs and I was singing Iran, so that was a fun time. You guys weren't here for that.
Yeah, but now it's stuck in my head.
That's in the past, though. Now let's focus on the present, which will be the future. Or backwards like that. I don't know. So, this first one, subject is scary dreams. And it starts out like this. Hi, I'm Toby.
Hello, Toby.
Hi, Toby. I'm Adam. I just recently found your podcast, and weirdly, I am watching the podcast backwards. I am currently going on episode 73, and I do not, whenever this will be read, or where I'll be at, I'm guessing do not know, wherever this will be, or where I will be at, but all I know is that I'm addicted. That's good to know.
Nice.
Anyways, let me get into the stories. Not too long, but some may be a little longer than others. I don't mind if you share this on the podcast. I have always believed in the paranormal, which makes me a bit paranoid with every teeny little thing. Open doors, open windows, or taps on my window, etc. So I always go to bed a bit paranoid, and I always have weird, scary dreams. That stinks. No, like, nights of rest. My first kind of scary dream I had, in parentheses, not really scary, more of weird and spooky. So it was a normal dream, details which I cannot remember, but nearing the end of the dream, my grandpa's face covered my whole dream. I have never seen my grandpa before, except for when I was a baby. He died within 2 weeks of my birth, so I never really knew him, and of course, I cannot remember him. At the end of the dream, he screamed for me to wake up. Naturally, I woke up, and I was halfway off the bed.
Wow.
It was late, but it felt as if I was lifted back onto the bed, but looking back on it, I probably caught myself. I don't know. The whole thing really spooked me, having seen my grandpa in my dream, which I have never done before. It was weird and gave me goosebumps for weeks. Maybe it was my mental manifestation of my grandfather being there for me, or my subconscious using that to warn me, but I will believe to this day, whether or not it's naive, that my grandpa is looking out for me. I think that's totally reasonable.
I think it's reasonable too. I will say the whole coming off the bed thing, though, it's like in Inception. It's like in the movie Inception, where you feel yourself falling, and so
you wake up.
You jerk, yes, and so you wake up. But that's just, it could be a little bit of both.
I'm so conditioned for insults, I thought you paused to call me a jerk right there, because I started to slide your microphone forward, and you're like, you jerk. And I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't about me.
No, you are a jerk, though.
Okay,
Good
fun
job.
stuff.
I'm glad you know.
I'm going to keep going on with this email and try and not cry. I do have a few more stories, which are way more scary-ish. I hope it's okay if I can tell them. Absolutely.
Well, that is what we're all about.
Yep, it's right there in the name. It's another dream. So it started off with me taking out the trash, something of the sorts that made me go outside at night. I looked to my left and saw a dark womanly figure just standing there. I quickly ran back inside and grabbed my mom and took her to my backyard. She looked outside and saw nothing. I think it's funny that these are dream emails, because I had that ridiculous dream sequence that I put into my script.
Last episode? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she acts like it wasn't awesome.
It was horrible.
It was awesome.
No.
She went back inside and I followed. She was already back in the living room. Once I reached the kitchen, I saw the figure again in my own home. I started freaking out,
That's weird.
screaming incantations, just saying random words, telling it to leave. All of a sudden, the whole house lit on fire. I rushed to the living room to get my mom out of the house. I saw my mom sitting there on the couch with my nephew and niece. She, along with them, were burning in the fire. My mom looked me dead in the eyes and tilted her head as she was burning, then started giggling crazily. It was a crazy-ass dream, and I woke up sweating. My clothes were basically drenched with water. Water. You can admit it. It's okay.
Oh,
I couldn't sleep for hours after that.
Pants?
I was going to say, I'd probably shit my pants if I had that dream.
I'm sure you just, it's just
sweaty.
Sweat.
I got it. It was a joke. But this is my last story and another dream. It included me and only me. It was very vivid, and all I know is I dread dreaming after this one in particular. I know the last one should have set me off, but whatever. Anyways, I was just outside or wherever I was, and all of a sudden a demonic figure with a huge blade for a hand immediately stabbed me right in the stomach. It twisted the blade, and I felt the pain of it as if it actually happened.
It was Baraka.
In the dream, right? In the dream, I was spewing blood. It was basically pouring from my body. As soon as I woke up, it was still happening.
What?
Okay, I'm guessing you were spitting up blood and not you had a giant gash in your stomach that was pouring out blood?
Yeah,
I couldn't see the wound or the blood, but it felt like there was blood still falling from my stomach. I held my stomach for a good 10 seconds before I realized nothing was happening. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Scary shit, I know, but these are all the stories I have for now. I plan to send more if I encounter any more stories like this. I really love your podcast, and I have been addicted. Thank you so much for the stress reliever. Much love. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate you, and I've had really bad problem with nightmares my whole life, so I've kind of just settled into it and been like, at least my brain's creative. So maybe at some point it'll start to feel that way for you, but I know I've had friends that have had really, really vivid, terrible nightmares that have shaken them to the point where they didn't want to sleep. So it does happen.
I have had my share of nightmares, night terrors, things like that. There was something I was going to say. Now I've already forgotten. It was, the whole thing where your body moves in your dreams. So I've woken up with my leg kicking in the air, or I've punched many a person in my sleep in the face.
Many a person, because she sleeps next to many a person, apparently.
In my lifetime, okay? I've punched a lot of people.
I've been struck at least 5 separate times.
Yeah,
woken up out of my sleep by being struck, almost always in the face, by her doing some sort of rising uppercut in her dream.
Well, I've knocked a few people with an uppercut like that. I've also swung my arm back and hit people in the face. I'm a very jerky sleeper. I am a jerk in my sleep, but
your brain's supposed to paralyze your body when you sleep, and I think Robin sometimes just decides not to.
Well, if I'm running in my dream, I will wake up with my leg in the air for some reason. That's when I will wake up. I will feel like I'm running, and then I'll wake up, and my arm is in the air, and my leg is in the air, like I'm running while laying down on the bed. And I'm sure a lot of people experience that same thing.
Our dog does. I'm being real. I mean, all dogs do. I think it's adorable when their paws twitch and you hear them yipping like. Ruff, ruff, ruff. You never know if they're having a dog nightmare, if they're chasing something they really want to kill, so it's actually a good dream. But yeah, good stuff. Good conversation about dreams.
Thanks.
All right, let's look over in the stream chat, see what you wonderful folks had to say, and give some shout outs to the folks that were first. This thing is not settled right, and it's bouncing up and down. Okay, cool. All right. We don't have a ton of people in the stream right yet. It's not like barren or anything like that, but it's not our normal numbers. Vivian was the first in both channels, and she said, hola. Esmeralda was there, and Laura Ann. Oh, Laura Ann was in Twitch. I stole that from Robin.
Oh, yeah, I have. Laura Ann, Snarks, Glitch Grim. Thank you guys for joining us. Actually, Faison, you're here too. Hi.
Lindsay over there on YouTube says, first time being here at the beginning. Well done. Very proud of you.
Glitch Groom Sales. It's been one hell of a day, and now I have scary-ish spooky friends and cider. It's getting better. Cider, it's the season for cider. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Are
you so excited? Yeah, I fucking crushed that. Act like I didn't. You want what? You were saying you wanted something.
Apple cider. Sounds so good. Like hot, spicy apple cider. Like real cider. The Snark says, Robin's makeup's on point. Thank you. It took me forever. I think I redid it a million times.
Jesus and Itzy are out there, and they say, hi, everyone, along with Akbar, who says, hello. Jesus and Itzy say, aw, love the ponytails, Robin, with a heart.
Aw, thank you.
Etzley says, hello, peeps. Thank you for joining us.
I also have our scariest shirt on. Hello.
Your laptop is covering you.
Boop.
You could just slide to the right. Looks
Wait,
pretty
I'll
good.
Just stand up, yeah. So, scariest shirt. It's pretty cute, I think. And it says scariest on the back. Wait. Boop, boop.
Yep, we're all looking at the Scarish on the back and not your magnificent butt.
Wow. Thanks.
And I'm drinking out of my Scarish mug, which I will be pretty much every show we do live from now on and other days where we're not because it's a really sweet-ass mug.
Oops, I locked my computer.
I knew you were going to do that.
My bad, dog.
Vivian says, did you know that most spiders can't see very well despite having 8 eyes? I imagine it would be kind of difficult to see if you had 8 eyes.
I think it's because it can't focus. It's like, I'm seeing this and this and this, and my brain
That's where the
can't
iPhones
compute.
are going, man. They're going to have so many fucking cameras that they're all not going to work very well.
I heard people were starting to, there's a phobia, right, of pores or something like that.
Like giant pores that are really close to each other. I forget the name of it.
I forget what it's called too, but people are freaking out over it. I think it's not cute.
I don't understand the point of having 3 of them.
I'm sure there's a
I
reason.
get that one of them's wide angle and they're all serve different purposes, but it's like, it's a bit much. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's other things I wish the camera could do besides have 3 separate versions of camera. You know what I mean? Like, just have one camera and then an iPhone that can do much more. Vivian says, they just sit in caves in the pitch dark. It's quite sad. Some of them are more active than that. Leo Chacha says, Robin pigtails are cool and Adam is dapper in his business attire. I unbutton my top button and like loosen my tie a little bit though.
Yeah, he was like, I'm like business casual with my loose tie.
I call it formal cash because I'm still like formaled up with the tie, but it's not too serious.
Laura Ann says I could go for some cider. Actually, Faison says we might have some in this shed. And Glitchgrim says, y'all have a she shed?
Oh my god, she shed.
The Snark says, sometimes dream demons need a shoryuken.
Wow. I'm not the dream demon, and I'm the one that's getting hit in the face. Vivian says, question of the week. What is one object, person, or thought that makes you calm down when you're angry or upset? That's a good thing for people to keep in mind because people tend to get angry a lot. You know what I mean? Especially when you like road rage.
Oh my gosh, I almost got hit on the road the other day. There's a road by the airport on my way home that is like 2 straight lanes, but you can also go left on the left lane or right on the right lane. Okay, it's 2 lanes. You got to go left or right.
That's how those lanes work. I'm glad you broke that down.
This person from the right decides to turn left while I'm going straight and almost hits me because I'm going straight. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was really upset. And like my hands were shaking all the way home. I was like, what the fuck?
It's funny.
But
it's scary. I'm glad you didn't get in an accident.
Thanks.
I will say, I think for me, the thing that I can do that will calm me down is listen to music. If I listen to music or podcasts or something that I'm like more entertained by, I'm not as annoyed if I get slowed down. I'm not as annoyed with like simple stuff that will typically like annoy you when you're driving. Like I have to go through stop signs and roundabouts to get home a lot. And a lot of times people don't know how to use either of those things because they're stupid. And rather than like watch the stupidity and have to like try and coach them through it by yelling or just get frustrated, it's just like, cool, I get to listen to more before I get home. So I think that's kind of what I do for my anger management. That's just where my head's at.
Actually, Faison says their shed has couches and a fridge and a surround sound system. So it's like a she shed, but the mower looks out of place.
That's funny. It really sounds like your man cave or she shed happens to have a mower in it, which sounds even more badass if you think of it that way.
Let's see.
Leo Chacha says maybe she's a Street Fighter character in her dream, and then put all you can, like all you can. Jill is here. What up, Jill? I just saw you a couple hours ago at work. Glad you're home. Hope you're smoking that wine. She was leaving work the other day, and I was just like, go home and drink a bottle of wine. And she was like, I'm not gonna drink a bottle of wine. And then she realized like she was talking out loud. And I was just like, smoke that wine. She's like, shut up, fuck you.
All right, so let's see. Turn the page says, I agree, it's been one heck of a week. I'm baking cheesecake. Ooh. Cheesecake takes a lot of work. I can't imagine making cheesecake.
I don't know, I've never made it. I've eaten a lot of it.
Yes, your mom makes really good cheesecake. It's so good.
Vivian says, my mom says it looks like I'm playing soccer in my dreams. Sometimes I look like I'm ballet dancing. That's pretty awesome.
The Snark says that shirt reminds me of a Shy Guy. He does look like a Shy Guy because he has the mask and everything. He's pretty cute.
No one tell Nintendo. We really don't want to get sued.
Let's see.
Vivian says tryptophobia. That's the name of it when you have a bunch of holes that freak you out.
Lots of talk about the she shed and about cheesecake.
Anna says, made it. The computer I'm using sucks and I'm not feeling great, but I'll try and stay as long as possible. Anna, thank you for joining us. Dip out whenever you need to. We understand. Erica also joined us. Erica says, I'm in statistics class right now.
That stuff's boring. You can just use Excel for everything.
Blanca Bello says, music calms me down. You can, though. Like, I've had professors that teach us the tricks in Excel rather than actually teach us, like, the long version of the math.
They, like, use MATLAB and stuff. Anyway, what was I going to say now? I've already forgotten. Oh, yes. This is the last show that we're going to have before September ends. So
someone wake up that guy.
So yeah, someone wake up Billy Joel. If you folks haven't subscribed, this is the month to do it, because instead of spending $5 on a subscription to our channel, it's only $2.50, but we still get the full support of the whole subscription. So if you folks have, I don't know, 10 quarters lying around, it's less than a Starbucks coffee. You guys can help support us and help us keep doing what we're doing. It is on Twitch, so twitch.tv/scaryish-podcast. If you folks are over in YouTube, it's $2.50.
It's funny because Lindsay asked, how do I find you on Twitch? And she just answered you. So if you go over to twitch.tv, if you don't have an account, click sign up. All it takes is an email address. It's super quick. And then just search Scarish Podcast. And
Leo Chacha says, not Billy Joel, Billy from Green Day. Isn't his name Billy Joe?
Billy Joe.
His name's Billy Joe. Not, yeah, that's what I meant. Not Billy Joel.
Vivian says, looking both ways isn't just for pedestrians, people. This is very true. Leo Chacha says, my job as an elementary Spanish teacher, we live in a small town, and I'm friends with 70% of the parents, and my boys go to the school, and I can't have people saying, Senora Lenore as an angry woman. That's funny. What do we have here? The Snarked redeemed and ask a question. That question is, what should my license plate be for my new car? It's a blue Model 3, something to do with electricity. It's a really good question, actually. We're going to need some electricity
Model
puns.
3?
I know, I'm so fucking jealous, dude.
Fuck. I want a Model 3.
Let me see if I can think of something on the spot. Probably not. Sparky is pretty obvious.
A blue Model 3.
We're looking for a license plate pun for an electric car that's also a Model 3.
I just have TARDIS names.
It's funny.
So,
all right, anyone out there wants to toss out something, go for it. What's up, WATTS.
Oh, that's good.
UP. That's also the name of the newsletter at Tesla. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I still have an NDA that I'm under, technically. But yeah, that was the newsletter there. It said, what's up?
Glitch says Allspark. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Allspark is good. Anna says gas free, GASFR3, or you could do 3 if it's already taken. That's a really good one, actually. I really like that one.
There's a lot. There's so many names you can name it. I'm just not good at that. That's why our car has a stupid license plate.
Fuck you. I've asked to change it, and she's like, we're not spending $20.
We have to spend another $60 to change it.
I'm going to change it. Glitchgram says, I thought tryptophobia was a fear of falling.
It was a joke.
I know, but it's a really good fucking joke, and I didn't know if it was going to get read or not, so I just jumped into your chat. Sorry.
Ulrich says oil sucks.
Anna says, my brain broken thought, but there's like 3 more weeks. Trying to work ahead at work is throwing me off my internal recognition time. Oh my God, I can't believe it's almost October. I have so much shit due in October. Vivian says, have you ever realized how most people are so self-depreciating nowadays? In my art class, everyone's like, my art sucks. Okay, deprecating. My art sucks, but like 100 years ago, we'd be fighting whose is better. It's not true. Artists have always been self-deprecating. Just look at Vincent van Gogh.
Chopped his own fucking ear off.
Killed himself, like super, super depressed, thinking his art was shit, and he's widely regarded as one of the greatest,
I love that
if not
episode,
the greatest artist of all time.
That episode of Doctor Who where they take him to see how big
appreciated he was.
His art is. Yeah.
And he still kills himself, even though he knows how appreciated he was.
But that's not his fault.
It's just so sad, dude. It's such a great, beautiful, bittersweet episode.
Oh my gosh, I cry when he cries. It's just, so good.
Leo Chacha says it's electric for the license plate if you can fit enough letters on there, I think. But all right, cool. I think we are caught up on my chat. I think we're caught up on your chat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Cool. Go ahead and transition to that next email, Robin, and give us one of those amazing, patented Robin smooth transitions.
This is a Robin smooth transition. This next email is from a frequent.
You're crushing this transition.
This next email is from a pretty frequent flyer with sending us stories, which is awesome.
On Scary Airlines.
On Scary Airlines. Oh my gosh, if we owned our own airline, how freaking sweet would that be? Oh my god.
You just jumped way past a bunch of other dreams and got to owning airline.
I just want to fly business class or first class once in my life.
I just want to be so rich I never have to worry about money and can buy all the things I've ever wanted for me and everyone I know. That's pretty reasonable, right?
Yeah. Hi, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello, Hunter again. Just realized I never said hello in any of my other emails. Sorry about that.
Dick move, Hunter.
Oh my god.
Thank you
shut
for
up.
saying it this time, though.
Anyways, some odd stuff is starting to happen even more. Cat freaks out on a regular basis. He will randomly panic and attack the air in front of him.
Oh my god.
Not in a way that would make you think he's just playing. His back is arched, hairs up, hissing, claws out, teeth bared. Picture a typical black cat Halloween decoration, and you have a pretty good idea. It's even scarier because he will go from eating and playing to that in an instant. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a little bit terrifying.
Well, I mean, animals can sense things that we can't. That's what freaks me out.
What's funny is when you say that, I think a lot of people get skeptical, but they literally can. Like, they can hear frequencies that we can't hear. Like, that's why dog whistles work. You know what I mean? So, like, if a dog starts growling or freaking out and you don't know what it is, it's possible that they're hearing something you can't hear because they have the ability to do that.
How do we know what their vision looks like, what they see? We don't, right?
We literally do not.
So what if they see, like, misty ghost figures and that's what freaks them out?
Have you ever seen, I don't remember which Paranormal Activity it was, but they have the camera that can pick up, like, the weird stuff happening in the house, like
where
the
they use
phenomenon.
the Kinect?
Yeah, that one where they use the Kinect. Because they see, like, it looks like
Where
a wisp of, like, smoke almost, or gas.
The one that freaks me out is when it looks like there's a dude sitting on the couch.
Next to the kid.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. This part in
you
this movie,
see all
though.
the dots that look like a person.
Yeah,
Ugh.
there's this part in the movie where they're using a camera that can pick up on, like, the paranormal activity. But when they're doing it, it looks like almost like a gas leak coming from the floor, but they can't see it with their naked eye, but the dog sees it. You know what I mean? So I wonder if, like, that's how they pick up stuff like that.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Maybe they have internal connects.
Wow.
All our animals are
it
sponsored
all makes
by
sense
Xbox.
now. Microsoft really owns the world. Your pets are actually Kinects.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, that'd be so cute.
Everyone out there is like, what the fuck's a Kinect?
It was a thing that is no longer a thing.
Most people, I'm sure, have heard of them.
Okay. Oh, and, okay, super tangent, but Beat Saber has a new Panic at the Disco music pack coming out.
The funniest thing, I know this is a huge tangent, the funniest thing about the 10-second commercial
is
for the
that
Panic at the
it's
Disco
Greatest
Beat
Showman.
Saber is it's a cover of them singing The Greatest Showman. And I was like, all right, I get it. The song kind of matches like a big announcement or whatever, but it's like, it's not even a Panic at the Disco song.
But I'm super excited. I love Beat Saber. We played on PlayStation VR, not Oculus or anything, but I'm so excited for Panic at the Disco because I love them. Anyway.
All right, we're going to get to this email.
Okay. This is probably going to date the whole entire episode now because it'll be out and they'll be like, whoa, wait.
Pretty much anything we say dates the episode, though.
Okay, so power cuts randomly even when it's sunny with no wind and our neighbors still have power. So they're the only ones without power. That's kind of freaky. Sometimes if we check the breakers, they've all been switched. We're very careful about not using too much power, so it is really odd. We have never had a problem like that at our old home, and we do the same stuff that we did there. I think we use more power now even. Sometimes stuff gets misplaced, not just small things. But once a chair made its way to the attic in the middle of the night without anybody hearing anything.
That's creepy.
It was a wooden chair from the dining room. The hatch to the attic is right next to my mom's room and is loud to open. The stairs are more like a ladder and are as loud as the hatch. It is a pain to get folding chairs into that attic. I just imagine this lonely chair sitting up in the attic alone, just in the middle of the attic floor. You know?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause that's how
sometimes
most
ghosts
paranormal
need to
movies
sit
do
down
it.
and they're probably like, I'm going to sit down and not have my invisibility field on, so I'm going to take it to the attic so no one has to see me.
Invisibility field. Anyway, I forgot where I was. Okay, sometimes I hear scratching outside my window. We live out of town, still by a few other people, but it is only the landlord's cabinet business. It's not the business. They close at night, which is when I hear the noises, and it is definitely coming from my window. Sometimes I have to cover my ears because the sound hurts. I imagine really high-pitched scratching or scraping.
Like fingernails on a chalkboard type stuff.
Ugh.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Sometimes I have to cover my ears. Okay.
Oh my God, dude.
It has never woken up the rest of my family, and I have never found scratches on the glass, which is strange. I mean, if there were trees outside and the branches were
Right.
scraping against the window, that's one thing. But if there's not even any scratches or no evidence of anything that could be scratching the window, it's kind of creepy. In the last month, I have had 15 sleep paralysis experiences. Fuck that.
It's one
That's
every
a
other
lot.
night. Yeah.
That's, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Should probably get a sleep study done.
Yeah,
that's a
you should.
lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, that's like, that sounds bad.
Wasn't there a movie we just watched where the whole family?
No, that's
Or
like,
was it a TV show?
that's about a year ago, and it's the one with Maggie Q, right? Where they're all having sleep paralysis and they all
Yes.
walk away. Yeah, that was a long
Yes.
time ago. We've talked about it a lot.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, what was that one called?
I don't remember. I
Okay.
think it's called Sleep Paralysis with Maggie Q.
Okay.
And she shows up and she's like, "Hi, I'm Maggie Q."
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, I do have them from time to time, but it was once or maybe twice a year, if that. Every time it was the same thing. It's the same woman as before, an old woman in white clothes with pitch dark hair, except she has super long fingernails and is extremely gaunt. She'll sit at the foot of my bed, then move over like she's hovering right next to me and settle down on the bed. Then she'll scratch my neck like the first time. The thing I'm now 100% sure is
You want to take that again?
The thing I'm now 100% sure of is a ghost touched me. Not in an aggressive way, but still scary. Then she laughs and says, "It's almost here," and laughs harder like she's become hysterical. When I'm alone, I will flick light switches, as in the switches. Oh, wait, shit. Back that shit up. When I am alone, it will flick light switches, as in the switches are physically moving up and down. That's somebody with an invisibility cloak.
Yeah, that
Like,
straight up sounds like you have a ninja in your house.
that's frightening. That's absolutely horrifying. If I saw the switches, I'm like looking over at our light switches. If they freaking moved, oh my god, I would freak out. Beep, 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 beep. It will control the TV, again, physically pressing the buttons, and it has even done it to my mom's computer, only when I'm on it, and my phone. The power/volume buttons are physically going down. It's been eating me alive, this tragedy that the ghost is talking about, and I can't think of anything. My mom and stepdad have been fighting a lot more recently. Oh my gosh. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I have no idea. Needless to say, I am getting pretty nervous. It's almost like the thing is getting confident, and that normally ends poorly for those who are alive. That's it's frightening.
Yeah.
It sounds like a, I don't know, poltergeist type thing because the parents are fighting.
Yeah, and it's focusing on one person in particular.
And isolating them, you know?
Yeah, it's like they say that negative energy feeds into that stuff, and like when you have negative things happening, like things like that get more active. But it's definitely bizarre and really I would seriously recommend a sleep study at this point. If you're having sleep paralysis that often, if it's nothing paranormal, if all this just happens to be coincidence, that much sleep paralysis could literally be like the oxygen's not getting to your brain while you sleep, which could be very, very bad. So yeah, that's the first thing I would do. But aside from the rest of it, maybe burn some sage and circle your entire house with salt, maybe.
Like your entire house.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt. It really couldn't. So
I say saging. Saging or smudging never hurts.
Smudging, that's the right word.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good advice from us, so we hope that helps.
Good advice from us.
Thank you for writing, though. Seriously,
Way
that's
to
like the
toot
third
your
one, I
horn.
think, and we appreciate that. All right, let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you wonderful folks are saying over there. All right, I'm going to scroll up. We got a lot of chat over there in Twitch, which is burying my YouTube chat.
1:43 a.m. says, "Beware, we're alive. Hello, we
Welcome
haven't
back.
seen you folks in forever." Jamie Ben says hi.
Oh my God, Jamie's back.
Hope you're doing well in your new digs and all that fun stuff. 1:43 a.m. says, "Adam has a big mustache."
Yeah. I'll probably get rid of it soon. It's annoying. I can feel it on my face at all times.
Glitch said, "What happens at the disco?"
That's funny.
I don't know, but everyone panicked. It was crazy.
Anna said, and there's the Doctor Who reference. Marks a spot off my scariest bingo card. That's funny. We should make scariest bingo cards.
Like what?
Because you always make references to Doctor Who. So if we had scariest bingo cards, it could be like, Adam acts like a douchebag, and that'll be the center because that always happens.
Well, so that's
and
a
then
freebie.
Other stuff, exactly. And then other stuff would be...
It's got to be Buffy, Doctor Who.
Robin interrupts Adam while he's talking.
Supernatural. There's got to be random references all over it.
Terrible pun. Gotta be on there
gotta
for
have
sure.
A terrible pun. No, I think the woo should be the free spot.
Yeah, the woo should be the free spot. I've never missed it. So I don't think I have. Even when my voice was like dead, I still would try and do it.
The Snark says, I need to play this Saber of Beats. It
It's
is
really
so
fun.
good, but you work a sweat for real because there are parts in the game where you have to duck under these bricks coming at you. So you have to literally get on the floor. That might have been what messed up my knee because I would throw myself onto the floor.
She's
to get
ridiculous
under
when
this
she
thing.
plays this fucking game.
Yeah, but it's like an amazing workout. Beat Saber is great. If you folks haven't played it on PSVR, you guys should. It's only like $15 on PlayStation Store or whatever. Worth it.
Anna over on YouTube, before we said all that, said, just waiting on Buffy, Vampire Diaries, and Supernatural, and I win. And then you can shout out bingo wherever you're at.
Damn
Vivian
it.
said, another little known fact, apparently Van Gogh's brother cut off his ear during a fight, but Van Gogh loved his brother, so he covered for him and said he did it himself. I've never heard that before.
Whoa.
I've heard multiple things about Van Gogh's ear being taken off because I've heard he cut it off and sent it to a chick. I've heard that he only cut off part of it. And I've heard a bunch of other stuff about like how his ear was never actually cut off and that was all just like conjecture and hearsay. But yeah, I've never heard that his brother had done it to him and he covered for him.
All I know is he painted this strange painting of this blue telephone box exploding. It was crazy.
I hate you. Vivian said, anywho, got a jet. Love you all so much. And then like 6 hearts. Thank you for joining us, Vivian.
Thank
You're
you.
gone now, but we appreciate you joining us. And I'll keep scrolling.
The Snark says, someone messing with my breakers is legit one of my greatest fears. When I think of that stuff, I think I'm about to get murdered or something like that.
Yeah, I
If
mean, when
someone's
someone cuts
messing
the
with your
power to your
lights,
house, the
yeah.
first thing that goes through your head is like, murder.
Ugh.
Anna says, in Ghost Adventures, the camera they use that is most like the Kinect, I don't know how to spell it, it's called the SLS camera. Good to know, but I don't trust anything they do. Atlasa says, missed you two beautiful people. We missed you too. Thank you for being back.
Aw, thank you.
Anna said the free space is woo.
Oh my gosh. Cat Beatrix said, just got back from bike ride. Did I say bike ride? I meant crash. Banged up 2 elbows and my good knee. Went home early to a cop parked in front of my condo and talking to my deaf neighbors. I'm just going to wait and listen to MFM until she moves. That's frightening. And I'm glad you are safe, albeit banged up.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's scary. Britt Newt says, hello. Thank you for joining us, Britt Newt. Lindsay said, that sounds like me with the Wii and anything I think is creepy and crawly like spiders and the quid thing from Harry Potter.
I earlier was outside fixing something for the pool, and then I got back inside and was doing something getting ready for the show, and I touched my arm and was like pulling my hand up against it the opposite direction I normally
Like you're doing
do.
right now.
Yeah, and I felt weird needly things because I don't know, I started freaking out because I had leaned my arm on one of the pipes or something. I was dealing something with the pool filter, whatever. But I was like, oh my God, is something digging in my skin? What is this? What is this? Because it was spots all over my arm that were just sharp things. Like I had a bunch of splinters and I just thought there were bugs in me. Oh, sorry, I knocked the microphone. But it freaked me out because I just watched that movie on Netflix, Perfection, and she makes the chick think that there's bugs crawling in her skin.
So what was it?
I don't know.
So you just had ridiculous
I still
transformation
have
on your arm?
There's like sharp. It feels like a bunch
Hold
of.
your arm towards me so I can see.
I don't know. Ew.
You have. What do you mean? Ow! I barely touched her. She does this all the time. You have one red bump right there.
Oh yeah, it was a scab. I picked it off.
She's worried about having things on her arm, but she just picks her scabs off. Cool.
Anyway.
I'm caught up over here on YouTube, so let me know when you are caught up on Twitch.
So Cat Beatrix says they waited there for 5 minutes until the police officer notices and then says, oh shit, sorry. Most people just honk. I can't even imagine.
I wouldn't honk at a cop.
Would never honk at a police officer.
Never.
Never. That's like asking for a fucking ticket.
Yeah, do you want to be held at gunpoint? Because that's how you get held at gunpoint.
Glitch said, I wish I had a ghost that used the remote. No more getting up unless it wants to watch the Hallmark Channel. I love the Hallmark Channel.
I hate it so much.
10
I
out
knew
of
she was going
10
to say
worth
it.
it. There was a day though. This is when we were still dating, I think. I was hanging out at his apartment and I was sick and I wasn't feeling well and I didn't want to get up to grab the remote, so I just watched like Keeping Up with the Kardashians for 5 hours or some stupid shit. And he came home, he's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to get up and get the remote. It was trash television.
Gross.
100% trash television.
Anna over on YouTube says, side note, another spot on the bingo, scariest bingo card is Adam looking into the camera like he's in the office. Yeah, I do that a lot. Even before I was watching the show, I do that a lot. That's me non-verbally communicating with you, the viewing audience, a message that the listening audience never quite picks up on for specific details in those emails where I get kind of dubious about whether or not these things sound true or not. Or when Robin trips over her tongue like 6 times in a row and then she goes...
I never make
and
those
then
sounds.
Starts
I make different sounds.
randomly again.
They're musical sounds.
I never know what the hell sounds
Laura
they
Ann
make.
says, cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies are the best. I agree.
They make them year-round now.
Yeah, and it's great.
It's awful.
It's freaking great. There's a new one. There's a new summer one with Erin Krakow, and I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it.
No one knows who she is.
Oh my gosh, she's from One Calls the Heart, and she's
no
so
one
good.
knows what that is.
It's a Hallmark show, and it's so good. Except I miss her husband from it. The guy that plays Jack, the Mountie. Oh my god, he's
Jack
so
Harkness.
hot. No, but he's hot too. Anyway, so the Snark says, I lost 20 pounds playing DDR. Let's do this.
Nice.
About Beat Saber. So yeah, you will enjoy it. It's really fun. Cat Beatrix says, my dad was just sitting in the unlit living room when I entered the house, and as I was starting up the stairs, I heard my dad shout out in distress, a strange girl just came in the house. What the fuck, Dad? It's me.
That's so funny. Why are you sitting in the dark?
I had an ex that did that once. He was really creepy, and I came back to my apartment with all my dude coworkers from work, because I was like, he's going to be at my house. I already know it. We had broken up, and it was just a bad situation, and he was sitting in the dark in my apartment, and all my dude friends were like, bro, get the fuck out. It was insane. It was scary. And
Ish.
No, it was not ish. It was a very intense situation.
I want to bring up another ex activity that was also bizarre, but I don't want to out you too much on how crazy your exes were. I don't know if you're going to get upset about it.
Don't do it.
Okay, then I won't.
All right.
Fun stuff. Let's keep going. Brittany says, I hate you should also be a square on Scarish Bingo. That is very true.
That is very true. That should be one.
Lindsay says, I know first it was just Christmas, now Valentine's Day, and winter and even autumn movies at the Hallmark Channel. My stepmother loves it, and I'm rolling my eyes, which you should be. They're on all the time here, and it is so annoying. But hey, did you say all right like you were done?
Yeah.
Okay. Taylin says, what's up, bitches? It looks like bitchachos, actually. What's up? Thank you for joining us. I'm moving into my second and final email of the show. This one starts out, hello, Adam, Robin, and Spooky Mom.
Wait, second and final email?
My second and final email of the show.
Okay, well, it's his final one. We still have one
That's
more.
why I said my.
Okay.
That's how sentence structure works.
Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, just to let you guys know in case you don't know sentence structure. I'll do it all over again.
By saying the word final, you make it seem like the episode's
When you say
over.
my, it applies to the rest of the things in the sentence until you assign a value after that for ownership. I'm a fucking technical writer, and she does this with me all the time. All right. I'm going to take this again from the top.
Like.
It's just because your ears are stupid ears.
You're just stupid, period.
I hate her so much. Everything has to be like this. Here we go. I'm going to move on to my next email, my final email of the show, and the third out of 4 in case you haven't been keeping track. So it starts out like this. Hello, Adam, Robin, and Spooky Mom.
Aw, hello.
Hello. And I think my mom's downstairs screaming, hello.
Well, she's capturing the White Sox. I don't know.
So probably not. It's Brittany again. Still loving the podcast, and I am almost done binging all your episodes. What will I do on my commutes to work once I finish? I have no idea, but I guess I'll have to suffer. You could always start over again. Or you could listen to other podcasts as well. You're allowed to do that. Don't think like you're cheating on us. All right. I have a couple more stories. One that is not so scary, but at the time was pretty unsettling, and one that is kind of a good feeling story once you wade through all the bullshit. Just a trigger warning, the second story does deal with suicide and my struggle with depression.
All right.
If the second story is too much for the pod, I understand, but this is something that I have kept to myself for years and just wanted to share it with someone. Since you both provide a safe and welcoming environment for these situations, I thought, what a better place to share. So once we get to the second one, I'll remind folks that have trigger warnings, that have triggers at least, of the warning, and then they can tune out or skip forward if they want to. Here's the unsettling story. So the first one. My brush with the ghetto watcher, in parentheses, also, I suck at coming up with titles. While in college, I lived in a house in a not-so-great neighborhood with 2 of my friends.
All right.
We're talking police helicopters flying around regularly, large police presence. Was that a firework or a gunshot? Don't go outside at night alone kind of thing.
That's frightening.
My parents weren't thrilled about me living there, but the rent was dirt cheap and I was living with 2 of my male friends who promised that they would look after me.
Aw.
Not that I'm a total maiden in distress and useless in a fight, but I think it made my parents feel better.
That's good.
That's cool. I've lived in an area like that. $600 for a townhouse is pretty fucking cheap. Only got broken into one time.
That's so cheap.
I know. Both my roommates...
Is that the time they stole your Xbox?
Yeah, those motherfuckers. They stole the air conditioning unit out of my window, which is what I was really mad about, because it was really fucking hot that summer, and they probably took it to, like, sell the copper and, like, smoke whatever you can get out of it, because I know that you can get high on, like, the Freon or whatever that's inside it. I don't know. I'm not a fucking drug addict, and I don't steal shit. What I know is that they stole my shit, and I was like, oh, those fucking assholes, right? And so I called the cops. The cops came over. I made a report, and then I moved, like, 6 or 7 months later. And when I moved, I was packing my shit, and I was like, where the fuck is my Xbox? And I thought about it. I'm like, I haven't played my Xbox in over a year. I was like, so where the fuck did it go? And I was looking around. I'm like, those motherfuckers stole my Xbox. And I was so annoyed. But what I had next to the Xbox was like a $1,300 camera that they didn't even, like, take. They left there. And I kept it there since I got it when I had gotten it, like, months before the break-in. And they left that, and they took an Xbox worth like $150 and left the cords, too. They had to go to GameStop to get cords for sure. So I was just like, these sons of bitches. I'll be honest with you, though. That event is exactly what led me to meeting Robin. 100% true. Like, the whole thing where all this stuff happens. Shout out to Mike Meadows 89 who just subscribed over there on Twitch.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. 11 months in a row.
Thank you for being spooky.
I moved out to Las Vegas, and I took everything with me, and I took those cords. And because I was really, really poor, I decided, hey, I'm going to go to GameStop and trade in the cords for the Xbox that I have since I don't have one
you only
anymore.
get like $3.
I didn't know. And so I went into GameStop, and I asked the person there, hey, can I get cash for these? And they're like, no, you can only get store credit. I was like, all right, well, I'll take the store credit. That person was Charlie.
Who's one of our closest friends.
Who's one of our closest friends. She also used to host Nerd Chills with me, along with CJ. And I wound up working at Charlie's store because I felt so comfortable going there. When I still didn't own anything, that's where I went to get a job once everything else had fallen through. And that's where I met Robin. So yeah, I'm going to get back to the story. Sorry about that tangent. Oh my God. So... both of my roommates worked at the same warehouse where they worked the night shift, so I would be home alone at night on the regular. During holiday, they would also both go home to their families, leaving me in the house alone
in the scary neighborhood
for a few weeks since I had a job in the area. That's a long
That's
holiday.
That's a long time to be alone.
Yeah. One night, I was in the living room watching Netflix when I heard someone trying to open the front door.
Nope.
I heard them grab the door handle, jiggle it a few times, and shake the door as if trying to push it open. I thought it was one of my roommates coming home early, but no one ever knocked or entered. Our door had a large glass opaque oval in the middle of it so you could see the silhouette of whoever was standing on the porch.
There was no silhouette? Was there no silhouette?
They said they could see the silhouette of whoever was standing on the porch. I peeked around the wall to look at the front door, but there was no one there. Okay, so you win. However, we had a motion sensor light on the top of the garage, which was closer to the sidewalk.
Did it go off?
The light was on.
Okay.
I called my roommates and asked if one of them tried to come home but forgot their key, but they were both still at work. I spent the rest of the night hunkered in my bedroom with the door locked. Sorry, my stupid computer just jumped the email to the very top. I started having this weird feeling when I was home alone that I was being watched.
That's super scary.
Weird things would continue to happen, but only when I was alone. For example, someone would take our garbage cans in and out for garbage day, but only when I was home alone.
Shut the front door.
This is a pretty friendly watcher, I'm not going to lie. Another
it's like
time,
a stalker or something.
Yeah, maybe. Another time, I went into the backyard and one of our plastic lawn chairs had been moved to sit directly under my bedroom window.
Sounds like a freaking stalker.
If you stood on the chair, you had a clear view into my bedroom.
Nope.
I asked both of my roommates if they had ever moved the chair for any particular reason, but they both stated that they hadn't.
That's no. Stalkers freak me out. That's frightening. No. Oh my God.
Another night when I was alone, I was sleeping and woke to the sound of shattering glass in the kitchen. I laid in bed thinking of what I should do. Pretend to not be home, go out and check, call the police, and risk looking like an idiot when I find out that it was just a dream. I quietly crept through the dark house with a hunting knife that I kept by my bed, in parentheses, not sure what I planned to do with it, but it made me feel better. It's good to have a weapon even if you're not serious. That way if shit does pop off, you're at least not completely defenseless, you know? I turned on the lights in the kitchen to see that a drinking glass had dropped to the ground from the counter and had shattered. There was
How?
no one in the house, and all the doors and windows were still locked. I went back to bed, but Lord knows I did not sleep that night.
There's something wrong with that whole thing. That it's stalker, someone living in your walls. Someone's taking the trash out when you're home alone.
There's a lot of things about this that are creepy.
It screams stalker.
That part's pretty fucking cool, though.
Also, you guys should watch Stalker.
Brittany is in YouTube right now watching, and this is her email. So it's really fun when people join in and it's their email. All right, we're going to keep going. So the glass fell off, didn't go back to sleep. I know that you may be thinking, if the extra cars were gone for an extended period of time, one could easily deduce that the third person was home alone. While that does make sense, my 2 roommates were total car guys, and for that reason, they would both park their cars in the garage so no one would mess with them. So it would always appear that there was only one car parked outside. Never really found out what or who was watching me while I lived there, but once I graduated, I noped the fuck out of that house and moved back home.
Nice.
I'm glad you got out of that situation and you are intact, because that is scary shit.
You got your experience, your adult experience where you got to live alone, do all that stuff. You got the scary stalker, creepy experience, and now you get to live a hopefully non-stalker filled life.
Unless you're watching it on Netflix with Maggie Q.
Yeah, that show's good.
All right, so trigger warning.
Canceled too early in its lifetime.
I actually did like that show. I normally don't like a lot of the shows that we watch, but I really did like Stalker.
Yeah.
Story 2. It's not your time yet. This is the one with a trigger warning. The next story is about a difficult part of my life, so just so you know, this discusses suicide and my difficulty dealing with depression. While I was in college, I was having a hard time dealing with some traumatic events. I was trying to get over being sexually assaulted at the end of high school. Then I moved away to college. In the first 2 years of my college experience, 4 of my family members passed away.
That is a lot.
So much. Some of them died of natural causes. One was murdered and one was a suicide.
Dude.
I know. As can be expected, this was a lot to deal with for a young student trying to juggle a bachelor's degree and a part-time job. I tried therapy, but unfortunately, the match was not beneficial for me, and I didn't have the time to look for another therapist. Since I was unable to cope with the influx of events, I unfortunately stopped caring for my own well-being and began to self-medicate heavily. This meant taking some strong painkillers and drinking copious amounts of alcohol. Since I was in college, no one really knew what I was going through and thought that I just liked to party really hard. As a side note, I know a lot of people that went through stuff like this.
Yeah.
And like, I had a pretty big group of friends and we used to party all the fucking time, and people would kind of make their way into the group, and we could kind of tell every now and then that like this person's like having a good time with us, but it's coping. Like they're coping right now. And I had a friend who, and I'm not going to say who they are, but they came into the group, they partied with us for not very long. They moved away, and when they came back from the summer, we asked them if they were going to hang out with us, and like they weren't trying to be offensive, but he told me like privately, like, no, like I'm like 365 days sober. Like he had a chip, you know, like, and it's one of those things where you think because you're going through like college, or you just might be in a situation where you have a lot of social drinking or social partying, that it's like, no, we're all just hanging out. We like to do this. And sometimes it's like, you're not being each other's support system. You know what I mean? But you are there for each other. And I remember we had a summer where we played Monopoly like every night. And like, we were just hanging out as friends, and we didn't always drink. And we realized like we are each other's support system. And like, this is the group we need, you know? And that's why people would kind of cycle in. So I'm very thankful that I had that in college. And I realized that that guy didn't cycle in to party with us. That guy cycled in because he needed support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he had to step away from us because we partied a lot. And it was like something, it's like that fucking song Jumper, as cheesy it is to say, because I really haven't seen him like since everything turned around for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was nice to know that we could be there for someone without really knowing we were.
Have I met this person?
I don't think you've ever met him. So, all right, I'm going to keep going with this. I just want to let you know, like, you're not alone. This shit happens a lot, and I hope you have a support system coming up in this. One particularly difficult night, I had completely given up and went a little overboard with the self-medicating. My friends and I were planning on going out to a friend's house for another one of our typical parties. I started the night with more than enough painkillers and topped it off by drinking 3/4 of a liter of brandy within the first hour of being there. So take what happened next with a metric shit ton of salt. I don't remember much of that night, but what was described to me was when I went to the bathroom and began vomiting profusely. I then passed out and was unable to be woken up.
Holy cow.
Here's what I do remember. I was going in and out of consciousness. I remember being on the bathroom floor with a few of my friends surrounding me. At one point in the evening, everything went black and there was an endless sense of nothingness, if that makes sense. I then felt as if I woke up and everything was white and very bright. The area seemed to extend for an eternity. I was all alone and I saw someone walking toward me. Once this person was close enough, I realized that it was my great-grandfather who had recently passed away. I remember running up to him and giving him a big hug. I told him how much I missed him and asked how he had been. I asked him if we could finally spend time together again. He said that he was happy to see me too, but that we weren't going to catch up. He placed his hands on my shoulders and told me that I had to go back. I looked at him and said, "I don't understand. Aren't you happy to see me?" He told me that he was very happy to see me, but that I couldn't stay because it, quote, wasn't my time yet. I woke up again, laying on the living room floor with my friend's ear to my back. Apparently, he wanted to make sure I didn't stop breathing again. Don't know why no one had decided to take me to the hospital, but that's beside the point, I guess. Through the remainder of my college years, 2 more family members would pass away, and life continues to pile things on. I've come to realize that sometimes life just blows, and you need to find a way to get through it. It may seem impossible at the time, but you need to find a way to make it through. I still struggle with my feelings of depression, and being in a profession with the highest rate of suicide does not help. But I know that things will get better, and that if I had chosen to leave this world, then the toll it would take on my family and friends would be unbearable. I have turned to listening to your podcast on especially difficult days because it reminds me that there are people out there who care and things can get better.
Aw,
Again,
so sweet.
I know. Again, thank you both so much for your time and energy in creating this podcast. It is amazing to see your podcast grow and to see how the community you have created continues to support each other. I know I don't know either of you personally, but I am so proud for how far you have come and look forward to seeing where you will go in the future. Keep on creeping on. Much love, Brittany.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's really hard to share things like that.
It's really important, though, and I think because so many people are brave and send that shit in, it makes it easier for other people to think, I can do this, because there's so many instances where you feel alone, or you feel like you can't talk about it, and in so many cases, you feel like you can't talk about it to the people you actually know.
Right.
So, because you're afraid of being judged, or you're afraid of being not judged, or you're afraid that they can't help you, or you're afraid that they can, but you don't want the help. And there's just a million different reasons why people don't reach out for help to the people around them. And I think there's enough distance between us and the folks who listen to us where they feel at least comfortable enough to share, and they know we're not going to judge them, but they also know that we care and the audience cares. Like, the Spooky Friends sincerely do care. And like, yeah, we're a bunch of like foul-mouthed weirdos if you've ever joined our social media and seen all the memes that we post and all the ridiculous stuff, but it's legitimately a community of caring. And I think it's funny that you say we built it, because all we did was start the podcast and everyone built up around us.
I want to say Carly has a big deal to do with the whole Discord
absolutely
growth and everything like that.
And I think it's like the bravery of people reaching out, like Sam being one of the first people that emailed us, if not the first person that emailed us and said, like, I'm from a completely different part of the world. When people hear that, they're like, I live in the same country as them, or I live in the same state as them. Like, I'll reach out to them too. And the community, it really built itself. And we're just lucky to have it, and we're so happy you're a part of it.
Yeah.
And even though we've never met, like, we love you. Seriously. Like, that's not me just being cheesy. Like, I'm just saying it. Like, I'm so glad so many people choose to keep going, because there's a lot of reasons to stop, because life does suck sometimes, but you just got to keep going. You don't have to do the condescending pat on the back.
I'm not condescending.
She makes fun of me like every time this happens when the camera's not rolling or the podcast isn't on. But no, I'm being very serious. And shout out to Megs Lara, who just followed us.
Thank you so much.
On Twitch. We appreciate you following. Also, shout out to Lachey, Uncle Sam 219, and Amanda WA099, who followed us when we weren't on the air.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you so much for sending that in, Brittany. We really sincerely do appreciate it. And someone out there listening to this, it probably helped them immensely to hear that. So if you have stuff like that, don't feel guilty. You can send it to us. And if you want to just talk about it and you don't want it shared on the podcast, you can let us know, like, hey, I'm just sending this to you because I need to talk to you about something.
I think a lot of people, the hardest part is asking for help.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just don't want to admit that there's a problem or something like that.
I have been in so many, like, conversations with folks where someone admits something that's really hard to talk about. You know what I mean? And you could tell it's like a breakthrough for them. And someone who's already gone through that wall is like, oh, yeah, me too. and they make that connection, you know, and they're not judged, and they realize like, oh, I'm totally not alone. It's like you just make yourself feel alone, and that's like it feeds in on itself. So don't be afraid of that. There's a lot of shit to be afraid of, but don't be afraid of that. So we have one more email to go. We'll move on to that one. It's hard to transition from stuff that's really serious to silly stuff sometimes, so we'll move on to that. But first, we'll look over in the stream chat and see what you folks had to say.
Boop, boop, boo. Let's see.
Thanks, Brittany, for almost making me like break down in tears.
Some of these things that we read hit really close to home. So it's really amazing to see a community that we can relate to and can relate to us, and
it's a community I would
cool.
want to be a part of if I was like a listener.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's see. About the story with the stalker person. Laura Ann said Robin's on the edge of her seat right now. For real, stalkers freak me out. For it just someone following you. I read a stupid romance story. It was like a hockey one, but one of the girls in it had a stalker, and it just freaks me out.
Like you say hockey, like as in like NHL hockey type stuff?
NHL hockey.
Does he say let's puck at some point?
No, but all the girls in it are all puck bunnies.
Puck bunnies?
Yeah, it's like when you it's like buckle bunnies for cowboys, puck bunnies are for hockey, you know.
It's so bad, dude. It's just such oh my god. Talon over there on YouTube says, I spent all day binging you guys because mental illness hurts. Yeah, I totally understand. Like when I'm dealing with some shit, I have certain podcasts that I go to as well. And I talk about it all the time, but like Adventure Zone is my antidepressant at this point. Like I'll listen back through it because it's like that stupid fucking meme where it's like listening to podcasts is like, and it's some dude like eating cereal next to a poster of 3 people like laughing, and he's like pretending they're laughing. It's like, that's like 100% legitimate. So I totally understand
That's how I feel about the tripod. They're so good.
I hate how catchy of a fucking name tripod is. Yeah. Those bastards.
Try guys, try wives, tripod.
Try wives is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Try DIY. Their marketing is amazing. Anyway, let's see.
I see Cat Beatrix over. I'm stealing some stuff from you. In Twitch said, dude, this story right now, mood, LOL.
That is such a millennial sentence.
Guess that's how you use that. Now we know.
Glitch said, if you're home alone, I know this great documentary that has helpful tips and tricks in case someone tries to break in.
Sounds like bullshit.
And everyone says, oh yeah, helpful tips is great. Share with us. And he goes, it's around Christmas time, and there goes family on a trip and leaves this poor kid behind. He's left home alone, and these 2 guys tried to break in. He sets all kinds of traps and stuff. It's just the perfect joke.
It's a good joke.
It's a good setup.
That's a good joke. Lindsay over there on YouTube said, wow, that's my childhood, describing some of the stuff that was in the email. Brittany says, oh yeah, I mentioned my depression. Now I feel awkward. Don't feel awkward.
Yeah, don't feel awkward.
We talk about it here.
Linda says, love the eat, drink, and be scary plaque. Thank you so much, Linda.
My aunt got that for us.
Yeah, Aunt Ree got it for us.
Thank you, Aunt
and
Ree.
everyone's like, hi, spooky mom.
Britt says, yeah, I moved back home to my sassy hair demon. That's hilarious.
I would be okay with a sassy hair demon. If they were just like, hey.
Hi, I like your hair. Leo Chacha says, I have depression. Don't feel that way. You're really brave to share. It's 100% true.
The Snark says buckle bunnies. They're buckle bunnies. Like
you get a big buckle if you win the rodeo.
Yeah, you win buckles at the rodeo. And so girls that are into cowboys are called buckle bunnies. It's hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious to use the word bunny after anything associated with whatever thing you're a groupie of.
The Snark says, oh, Brittany, so glad you made it through. Glad you're doing better. If you need to talk, we're here for you.
I was in a meeting the other day, and we were sitting there talking, and this lady is always dressed in very, very nice business attire, and she's super put together, and she's a badass, and she like put her hands up like this, and when she did, she has a semicolon on her wrist. In the spot I've thought about getting semicolons before, and it was so hard to contain myself. I was almost like, I fucking love your tattoo. Like in the middle of this meeting while she was talking, I almost interrupted her to be like, I really like that. And I was like, ooh, like, don't do that. Like, we're in a meeting with a lot of people, and most of these people probably don't know what semicolon is. And I don't want to like make her have to explain herself. My
sister wants to get one, but it's not just black ink, like a rainbow one.
That's cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That's really cool.
Leo
Chacha says, things will always get better. It may take time, but it will. I always try and tell myself things will always work out, and I have to tell myself as an adult Things will always work out. It might not always be the way I hope it does, but things will work out. And that is 100% true. And every day of my life, I know that that is true.
Let's see. Meadow says Karakakash.
God.
Glitch says, OMG, I know what that is, being from Texas and all, but I have never heard it called that. I watched a show called Heartland,
Boo.
and it's from Canada. Maybe it's just in Canada. I don't know. But that's what they call all the chicks that are into cowboys. Let's see.
Brittany says, just remembering the story made me tear up a bit. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
And Anna said, I'm really glad you're with us, Britt.
Tian Lung says, oh yeah, I've heard of the term buckle bunnies. The Snark says, girls into cowboys get a cute name. Boys into cowboys are called a kink.
That's funny. Kristen put up a bunch of smiley faces, some of them upside down, some of them right side up. That looks pretty cool.
Laura Ann says, I've been wanting a semicolon tattoo. I think they are really, it's nice to have a symbol, like something that means so much in such a small symbol. It's really cool. Glitchgrim says, we call them bull riders.
Wow. I saw someone with a tattoo that said just breathe, and the J was a semicolon.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I really like that one. They had it like on their heart. Anna says, who
I'm
would play
scared of
marbles?
tattoos on my chest.
Who would play marbles on stream or scariest bingo with us, Britt? You're a badass mofo who has gotten through the fire and come out made of steel. That is awesome. Brittany said, I never thought I was the type of girl to swoon for a cowboy till two saved me from a mean bull chasing me down an alleyway. That's hilarious.
Okay, I've never seen my sister be into guys before, except for guys in like cowboys in jeans. She's like, dang, look at that booty. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? She never says it about anyone else.
She just activated.
Ever. Except for cowboys. I don't know why. That's maybe she's a buckle bunny. Who knows? But yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to get into my next email here. It's quite
Do
a
that
long
final
one.
email transition. Since you got so mad at me for saying the word
you
final when it wasn't final, now you get to say it.
saying it. So what if there's no more
said
email?
it one
He already said
time.
final. It's done.
Do it. Do it right. Are you going to edit this?
So the final email of the night is quite a long one, so buckle in.
We just had a conversation about buckle bunnies right before this for those of you who are listening, which
is
is a cowboy groupie for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, watch Heartland. If you guys like horses, watch Heartland. It's so good.
If you guys like television or yourself, don't watch Heartland.
Oh my god, rude.
I don't like that show. I'm sorry.
I like that show.
We'll watch it, and I'll start saying the things that I think are going to happen in the episode because it's predictable fiction. It's formulaic TV.
You know what else
And then
is
it always
TV?
fucking happens.
Fucking Game of Thrones.
No, it was formulaic TV for like 3 episodes, and then they're just like, and now we're going to change it up on you.
Oh yeah, they did. It was crazy. Anyway, so this email goes, Hey, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. Brandon here. I just want to start this email off by saying I really appreciate your podcast, and it is often the highlight of my weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. You guys are always so nice.
And supportive.
I wrote in last year and told you at the end of my email that I would try to get some stories from my father, but I've been reluctant to ask because even though he said he'd talk to me about it, it was a difficult time in his and my mother's life, but I finally got around to it. I have a few other small stories for you today as well. His stories go something like this. Story 1. He started off by telling me of a time when he was young where he had a dose of sleep paralysis. He was on his stomach sleeping. I've heard that when you sleep on your stomach, it happens more often.
Really?
I don't know if that's a real thing, but I was told not to sleep on my stomach.
For me,
or maybe it was sleep on my back.
For me, it only happens to me when I sleep directly on my back. If I sleep on my side or my stomach, I typically don't get it.
It might have been sleeping on my. You're not supposed to sleep on your back because your stomach faces upwards and all the spirits can get into you through your stomach.
What?
That's what my mom told me growing up.
You're all supposed to have a pillow on your butt so they can't enter through any of your holes.
Oh my god. Anyway, continuing on. He was on his stomach sleeping, but when he woke up paralyzed, he was in the top bunk bed and looking down at his brothers who were playing cards. The other thing he saw was this demon-like werewolf climb onto his back. That's new. I've never heard of a werewolf type creature. He saw its claws wrap around his shoulder and it was growling in his ear. When he tried to look at it, it pushed his head down into the bed. That's frightening. He tried yelling for his brothers, but they couldn't hear or he couldn't make a sound. It was then that he called for God and the demon disappeared. It was this story that reminded me of when I had my own sleep paralysis, which is why I called to Jesus whenever I would have the sleep paralysis. It's also why I refused to open my eyes when I had it. Last thing I needed was to see scary shit. He said his mom said that it was the devil coming for him because he didn't go to church. That's kind of funny. I love when moms say that stuff, like, it happened because you didn't do this.
The best part is when something terrifying happens and you try and tell one of your parents, like, this happened to me and I'm really scared. And they're like, and now I'm going to make you feel guilty too. Fuck you. I don't know if that's a parenting win or a parenting fail. I think from the perspective of the child, it's a parenting fail. But from the perspective of a parent, it's like, yeah, here comes a really good I told you so.
Story 2. When he was 10 or so, his mom had just had his 12th sibling. Holy cow. That's a lot of kids. 12 kids. 12 kids. Imagine 12 kids, 2 parents. That's 14 people.
Sounds about right.
Sweet baby Jesus. That's a lot of kids. The doctors told his mom that she wouldn't live to see the sun come up, so she decided to go home. What? She was asleep in her bedroom. My father says something just told him to go check on her. When he entered the room, he noticed 2 things. The room was abnormally dark, and there was a man, like a black/dark figure in the corner of the room. So he went to her and tried to shake her awake and said, "Mom, there's a man in the room," which woke her up. She then told him that she was dreaming about her father. In her dream, her father was telling her to put some slippers on, but she said she had her own slippers. She said she felt that if she put on the sleepers. She said she felt that if she put on the slippers her dad was trying to get her to put on, she would have been dead. I believe it.
It's a hell of a ruse.
Yeah.
The slippers of death.
Well, we were watching the Exorcist TV show, and remember the devil in that show kept trying to tell her, do this, and every time she did something, it was like letting him into her.
It like tries to trick you with innocuous things that are
Right.
just like you being more and more accepting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I don't know the exact rules of stuff like this, obviously, but like at some point you have to say yes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's really echoed through a lot of media, so I don't know if that's a rule that actually exists. I mean, if they exist, or if that's just something that's like on Supernatural or a bunch of TV shows where you have to actually grant access, but who the hell knows?
She was 45 years old at the time and lived to be either 89 or 90 years old. That's awesome. It's like you saved your mom, or he saved his mom, and allowed her, not allowed her either.
You got this.
She
Come
was
on.
able to live another 45 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. All right, story 3. When my father was 23, his father was on his deathbed. Jesus Christ, I can't speak tonight.
This is the last one. You got this.
No, it's not.
This is the last email.
Oh,
you got this.
Okay. When my father was 23, his father was on his deathbed. Why? I swear. English is my first language.
You couldn't tell.
Fuck. When my father was 23, his father was on his deathbed.
Woo! She got it! Yeah! Celebrate out there.
And so he went on to go see his father before he died. When he left back to California, he had this dream of a little black baby who had a lot of hair. His father had a lot of hair, big afro and such, during this dream, and phone rang and woke my father up. It was his mom telling him his dad had passed away. That's crazy.
It's so sad.
It's when there are dreams like that, it's so interesting because it just makes you believe that
Someone reached out to you.
right. It's so interesting. Okay, story 4. Another one of his stories is a terribly sad story, and I will be issuing a trigger warning. So trigger warning for everybody.
It's very nice of you folks to issue trigger warnings for these stories just in case.
My father and mother had a baby girl, my older sister by about 4 years. Her name was Kiera, and she was born with a disease called Zellweger's spectrum syndrome / disease, which, as I understand, affects each person differently. Basically, what it does is attack whatever it wants in your body. A big list of bullshit that no baby should ever have to endure. But no matter where someone is on the spectrum, it is a lifelong struggle. And most children born with this syndrome do not live past the first year. But what my father told me is something I will never forget. He was laying in bed asleep and he was screaming in his dream. He saw a man in all black. He was screaming at the man to leave his daughter alone, and then the man eventually left. The second time he was at work, he decided to go home early to help my mom out because being a mother is tiresome. When he got there, he was holding Kira and fell asleep. The man in black came back in his dream. The man nodded at him as if to say he was going to take her now. When my father woke up, she'd passed away in his arms. That's so
Unbelievably
heart-wrenching.
sad.
He says she had a smile on her face. That's so sad. I have like chills. A song that he loves to this day came on, Lady in Red, and always makes him think of her. He danced with her to this song after she'd passed. The little time that he had with her, he'd always dance with her whenever he held her, and this would be the final time. That's really, like...
I'm glad there was a trigger warning on that one,
Yeah.
That's really tough.
So I think to end this lengthy email off on a lighter note, I'll tell you 2 short stories of my own. Story 1 was when I was between the ages of 9 and 11, I would see what my father told me were shadow people, which after listening to your show, I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw them. Most of them were black, small balls, but I remember one time when I was home alone. All I can think of is the Home Alone movie now.
Yep.
I walked out of the bathroom and looked down the hall to our front door. I saw a shadow man who, to this day, I can't describe as anything other than Van Helsing. A big hat and cloak. That's hilarious. When I looked at him, he ran away into the living room, but I was too scared to go check because I think present day me would agree with 9 or 11-year-old me in the thought of, fuck that shit.
That's amazing.
I stopped seeing them when I moved into our current family home. So that's always interesting to me.
Sounds like it was house-based.
Right. Sometimes it seems like some houses just have these quote-unquote portals or just areas where maybe the line between life and death is a little thinner. Because I know my family has some people that have experienced that in one home, but as soon as they moved, never experienced it in another. So it's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Story 2. This one time on a weekend, one time at band camp, I remember
Wow.
I remember playing games, probably Final Fantasy Tactics, because that was my favorite game growing up and still holds a special spot in my heart. Side note, if you folks like those tactic games where you move your character's squares and you fight and stuff like that, Jeanne d'Arc on PSP is one of the best tactics games I've ever played. The story's great, the characters are great, the gameplay's great. You guys should play it. I know it's your... Anyway, it continues. Anyways, I was playing and I heard my mom call for my sister, but my sister wasn't responding. So as the good son I am, I decided to go see what she needed help with. And for this reason, I'm reluctant to go to her when she calls me to this day. I got into the room and she jumped from around the corner with this Halloween mask, a pale rubber mask of a man with his eyes and mouth sewn shut. Jesus. Nearly punched my mom in the damn head. But in my fear, I was able to analyze that it was just my mother being an asshat. Thanks for reading this. I know it was long as hell. Sorry for the mistakes. But thank you, Spooky Mom, for editing my horrendous grammar. Thank you so much for sending that to us. There are a lot of really good stories, a lot of heart-wrenching stories, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah. We appreciate that you're willing to share that stuff with
Yes.
us. Thank you for calling out trigger warnings for anyone who might need them. And I'm glad that you ended on those happy notes because I thought you were going to punch your mom in the face at the end of that email. And let's be real, if that happened, it's kind of on her. Just saying. But we appreciate you sending stuff like that in. We have a lot of really good chat that happens while we're doing these shows live regarding stuff like that. And I know we don't read a lot of the stuff that happens when these sorts of emails come in or just when any emails come in. But everyone is all really incredibly supportive and they give shout outs to people and they let you know you're very, very brave, which you are.
Right.
And I just want to say one more time, thank you to everyone who sent in their stories or sent in, anything to us, even if we don't read it, because it is hard. It's really hard to write shit like that. And I understand that you got those from your dad and I can't, and it's such a weird conversation to have with your parent or like a sibling or even a spouse about stuff that's happened to them from their past. But it's definitely something that I think we can all relate to. So thank you.
The Snark didn't ask a question. Said, "Woo, you got it."
There was a lot of encouraging words when you finally powered through that sentence. Do you? Okay, this is neither here nor there. It really doesn't matter because we've powered through it at this point. But do you need your corrective lenses when stuff like that happens?
It's just my mouth getting tongue-tied.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with my reading capabilities. It's like tongue twisters, you know? My tongue just doesn't work right. And it I don't even know. Okay. It happens a lot, though. I say weird things in real life, too. If I'm trying to say a sentence and it just doesn't come out right.
You should hear the shit that hits the cutting room floor. Like this past episode on Monday when we recorded it, it was really late. We were really tired. We
started recording at midnight.
It was really, really late, and Robin said something, and she literally stopped. She goes, "What the fuck just came out of my mouth?" I almost posted on Patreon, but I was like, I don't think anyone really wants to hear that, but who knows. So Anna was questioning Brittany regarding this bull that came chasing her down an alley. And she said, "Yep, an actual bull. Big, old, black Angus bull." Anna said,
"Killed it and ate it."
What the fuck? Why was there a bull in an alley? Also, I'm a sucker for a uniform, which is hilarious. Brittany says he's jumped a 6-foot fence into the alley I was in. I was on the fence trying to get close to the gate behind him. Couldn't jump on the other side of the fence because there was another loose bull over there. Wow. Where the hell did you work? Or where were you at this time?
I, too, am a sucker for a uniform. It's absolutely horrible. I
said nothing.
Well, oh, okay. I thought you made a motion with your mouth. Oh, fuck you. And it doesn't help that I've been watching shows like 911 that have a whole bunch of police officers and firefighters and things like that, or reading books about them.
She used to be suckers for suits until I started wearing them every day. And now she's like, whatever, you look like shit.
I have never once said that, you big drama
queen. I walked in, you're like, your button looks gross. And I'm like, trying to look good. And she's just like, you look poopy.
You are poopy, stupid poop.
Britt Newt over here says, keep on trucking, Robin. And yeah, I don't work with bulls anymore. LOL. Kick Medina over there says, good job, Robin. I think it's the first thing they said all show, but when you finally powered through that, they tossed in. Lindsay said, you did it, you did it, you did it.
You
Yay.
have to say it like Dora the Explorer.
I've never seen the show, so I don't know how she says it.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
This is usually where you tell me how they say it.
It's like, you did it, you did it, you did it, yay.
Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh, it's such a cute, stupid show.
Britt Newt says, oh my heart, how sad. Lindsay says, I finally made it from start to finish. Yay, yay, yay. Anna says, ah. So anyone who's in YouTube, switch over if you would like to join us for Marbles on Stream. It's your chance to win some free merch right now. If you switch to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast and sign up, you'll only have to type in a couple of things, which is like !play, to join us for this race. I'll get that set up while Robin reads the Twitch stuff.
Let's see. Cat Beatrix says, that was really long. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry. Glitch says, where's the big winner Luna? I think they're in now. The Snark says, 12 kids. That's my new phobia.
That's funny. That's a good joke.
Luna Bin says, oh, I just built a druid and I'm so excited. D&D speak.
Yeah, the Snark is going to be running a one-shot for us at some point in the future, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to wind up playing a druid, so I just need to figure out what level is going to be the cap so I can start building a bunch of different builds on D&D Beyond.
Lunabin, we would like you to reach out to us.
I've already gotten that stuff.
You already did?
Yep.
Ah, sweet. Good job. Good job, you. I'm at the end of my chat.
Ow. You're at the end of your chat? That was really quick.
Yeah.
Right on. So vamp it up.
Vamp it up. If you folks, again, if you're in YouTube, come on over. Twitch.tv/scarishpodcast.
Come on over, baby.
If you folks don't have an Amazon Prime account and would like to try it out, you guys can go to scarish.com, go down to the bottom of the page, and click that link down there. There's a link for Twitch Prime. There's also a link for Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you get Twitch Prime for free with your Amazon Prime account. Go on over to twitch.amazon.com, and you guys can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Twitch accounts are free. So Amazon
For
Prime
free. Come on.
is more additional free content, and it's absolutely awesome. You guys get to subscribe to a channel of your choice once every 30 days.
Let it be us.
Which is great. Yeah, if you could have it be us, that would be amazing.
So right now, if you would like to select the track we are about to race, go ahead and type in !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds to the track you would like to race. I have on local stats. You can see any of the tracks we have not raced yet, and for the tracks we have raced, the average time it takes to complete them. Pretty excited. The Snark says, "Oh no, who sings that song? I have no idea."
What song?
The song I said, come on over, baby."
Come on over. Come on over.
My friend just messaged me, "Have you ever read the Witcher books?" No, I asked for them for Christmas and did not fucking get them. I have played all the games, though. He's not watching. I don't know why I just answered you folks, but there you go.
In case someone wanted to know if you've ever read the Witcher books.
Someone outside is honking. Fuckers.
The first Witcher book that the Witcher introduction to the game world at all was Witcher 3 when it first came out, and I was working at GameStop and everyone was like, Witcher 3 is so freaking hard. Jeez, you're loud.
It's just my media being on normal volume. My bad. All right, vote. I like this number.
I'm trying to read my screen like it matters. Let's see. I did hashtag. That's not what I want to do. Nope, that's coat.
Apparently it was Christina Aguilera. Me and Chrissy Ag are in pretty good standing with each other. One of my guiltiest pleasures as a human being is the movie Burlesque. Fucking love that movie, and I hate myself for loving it, but I do.
You know what Twitch Prime is going to allow us to do soon?
To have gifts given to us?
Yes.
I read you that email the other day, so.
Soon you'll be able to gift Twitch loot to other people in your channel. How freaking cool is that?
I'm pretty sure people in your channel can also gift stuff from their Twitch Prime into like a treasure chest essentially for a channel, which can then be gifted out. Brittany is now following us over there on Twitch. Thank you so much for switching over.
You.
Now that you're here, type in ! vote and then a space, and then the number that corresponds with the track that you would like to race. Right now, Scared Straight is in first place, which is a pretty solid name. I'm pretty sure we've raced it before, but I don't know for sure. I remember talking. I gotta sneeze.
Blessings.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Good Lord. I don't have pants to wipe this on, so I guess just going on boxers. I remember talking about Scared Straight before.
So ew.
So ew. Oh my God, so ew.
We should gift subs to people. You get a sub. You get a sub. Everyone gets a sub. Subs are only $2.50 right now. If you folks would like to support us and subscribe to us over here on twitch.tv/carriagepodcast, it's September.
It's $2.50, folks.
$2.50. It's normally $5, so if you want to subscribe right meow, it's only $2.50. It's great.
Said share, man. Laura Ann said, bless you, thank you. And Anna over there on YouTube says, excuse you, Burlesque is the best. The scene where they're bringing down the curtain, the scene that's supposed to be the scene that like gives you chills and makes you want to watch the movie, is a great scene because they all lip sync to Burlesque songs. And like, of course, like, and by the way, it's what's her face, Kristen Bell from Good Place. She's like the star of the show, and she comes in drunk, and they decide to put Christina Aguilera out in her place instead. So she pulls all the chords on the fucking music, and they start to close or like lower the curtain because they're like, oh no, we can't play music. And Christina Aguilera sings, and it turns out bitch can sing. Just saying. And then the movie like is fun.
Does she do the Candyman song in that movie?
She does do the Candyman song, but it's not
I
that
love
scene.
That song. Love
I can't. I think she has Tough Love in that scene in particular.
Okay, so we have a couple of people asking how to do the Twitch thing. So to subscribe, there is a sub button up at the top, and you can just click that sub button. It's $2.50. Or if you want to use your Amazon Prime account, you can go to twitch.amazon.com and link your two accounts together. So when you go to that website, it shows you all the directions on how to link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch, and then you can do a sub for free once you've done that. And then Twitch Loot it's stuff Twitch Prime gives you for free while you are using Twitch Prime with your Amazon Prime account and things like that. And they give you random DLC, like stuff for PUBG. They give away games sometimes. Right now they have stuff for Red Dead Online.
On occasion, they give you sweet sugar-coated chocolate candy, man. I almost fucking got it, goddammit. Okay.
Sweet sugar-coated chocolate candy.
We're going to race Scared Straight. Here we go. So once this loads up, just type in !play in the chat to get your marble on stream, which is right now. So go ahead and do it. Valley Girls is the first one in, and we're going to see all the rest of them come in. If you're in the chat, go ahead and type it in. It's just a chance to win some free shit.
Brittany says, this is my first time over here, so don't judge my terrible player skills. Marbles is not a game of skill. It is a game of complete and utter luck. So if you win, you win.
It's not like the Game of Thrones.
And
if you lose, you don't die.
if it is your first time joining us for these races, at the end of the race, whoever wins gets one small piece of Scary-ish merch. So we would get your email, or not your email, but your mailing address and stuff after, and then I'll pack a little envelope for you and mail it out.
Indeed. So go ahead and type in !play if you'd like to join in. We have 15 marbles in the stream right now. That is fun stuff, but I think we have more people watching us than 15. Not 100% sure on that. But !play. We'll wait just a little bit longer to see if anyone else wants to join in. I don't see the scriptery in here. Just saying.
I messaged her. She's
Right
probably still at school. TBH.
All right. I'm going to wait about 10 more seconds. Then I'm going to click start, and we're going to get going. Glitch Crim says !skirt steak. Man, I wish it was that easy to get some skirt steak.
Tianlung says either you win the game or you die.
That is some
Game of
serious stakes. All right, 10 seconds from now, we're going to get to going. And the world record holder is Dragons, not spelled like that, in 1 minute and 20. But Valley Grills has 1 minute 37. So that's almost there. So we're going to see who can finish first. People are getting bounced around a little bit. It looks like Valley Grills world record, or our local record, didn't start out well. So good to know. Anyone in the back can totally catch up. 52 Nicks right now is in first place.
Glitch says, still one of my favorite stories, Adam. What story about the skirt steak?
I'm not sure. I have many skirt steak stories.
You do?
I mean, I've told several of them on the show, just about like how my family used to cook it and how my boss talked a bunch of shit to me because I was talking about skirt steak so goddamn much. It looks like I'm in first place where I deserve to be. And Britt Newt and Robin are racing me right now, with actually Faison catching up and actually outpacing the Ghost Ball right now.
Dang. I will laugh if Ashley Faison wins. Oh no. Ah!
Well, don't start laughing yet. Don't bust your chuckle, because Britt Newt and you are in first and second place. Phoenix 602 and
if
actually
Brittany
Faison
wins, it'll totally be like beginner's luck.
It will be. We'll see what happens. And if Robin wins, it passes to the next person, because she's not going to mail herself some merch that she does work very hard on creating. So
I have reminder, hello. If you are joining us a little later, I am wearing one of the new Scariest shirts, and I think they're absolutely adorable. I love them. I'll show you guys after the races one more time, but there is a link to the Teespring store down at the description of our channel here on Twitch, probably on YouTube too, I'm sure. Is there? Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm paying attention to the race.
Oh, the Twitch link to the Teespring store?
Yeah, it should be there.
Yeah, okay. So, link down at the bottom for the Twitch channel.
Meadows is victorious in 1 minute and
wow.
45 seconds. Meadows also said, how do you get a new ball? You're just a sub. We made it so that if you're a subscriber to our channel, you get this wonderful heart emoji ball. Meadows finished first. Dre was second. Valley Grills is third. The Snarked was fourth. Cat Beatrix is fifth. We'll watch the rest trickle in. You can finish the thing about the merch.
Okay, so there's a link to the Teespring store down at the bottom. We also have a Streamlabs store on our Twitch channel.
Just really quickly, I was in first place until I hit that fan blade, and I'm going to come in fucking last.
At least you're not going to get hit by the wall of death.
You don't know that. Everything could go wrong.
Oh, yeah, you are moving kind of slow. Anyway, the Streamlabs store has exclusive merch that you cannot get on the Teespring store. So it has the rainbow designs on there that you cannot find on the Teespring store. So if you folks want to check that out, it's down at the bottom of our Twitch store, or our Twitch channel as well.
So Emma was able to join us just in the nick of time. She said, I got out of a 2.5 hour fluid mechanics exam. I am brain dead.
Sweet baby jerseys.
The exam lasts 4 hours long. 4-hour long exams should be illegal. That is absolute insanity.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
Meadows
atrocious.
jumps up to 15 points on the season. Dre is at 8. Valley Grills is at 11. The Snarked is up to 16. And they are now in first place. Congratulations, Snarked. Phoenix 602, bless you, is at 15. Unless there's people who have more points than that who are just not with us tonight. All right, we're going to go ahead and move into our second race of the evening.
So,
get your votes out there.
Meadow
vote
says
early,
to
vote
pass
often.
it on to the next. So
it would be Dre.
If you
Dre,
could,
congratulations.
if you could email us your mailing address to storytime@scarish.com, that'd be great. We also need to have dinner with Meadow sometime soon.
Switch this over to local stats so everyone can see which ones we have and have not raced. I know which one I'm going for.
Now
Meadows says, this next race, I will gift a sub to the winner. That's so nice of you, Meadows.
Now I have Candy Man, Candy. It's stuck in my head. I love that song. It's so good. Boop a doop a doop a doo doop a doop a doop boop boop. I'm very tired. I have a mechanics of materials lab report I need to do that's due tomorrow. So I'm like, Arr.
I have work to do at work tomorrow, and I have to edit this episode and put it up for our Patreons.
I also have a dentist appointment tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You also have a doctor's appointment Friday, so don't forget.
Ugh.
All right, looks like Portal Purgatory is in the lead with 5 votes, although Coils of Power has 4 votes right behind it, and our winner, Meadows, voted for Buckshot. So if it winds up being a tie, Buckshot will be the track that we race. So interesting stuff. Buckshot has 3. So we'll see what happens. We're going to let this scroll by, let's say, one more time at least. How are you doing? You good?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm just
checking. We're both very quiet there for a second.
Staring at the names of the race tracks, just scrolling by. Also, I've added new things to our Etsy store. And the difference with the stuff on our Etsy store is that it's stuff that I have here at our house that I can just package up and mail out. So if you folks are in for some faster, I don't know,
so
gratification.
Drive faster, boy. You can keep going when I sing. You don't have to stop. You say stuff in the background when I'm talking all the time.
So if you want some faster gratification, like we have stickers, I don't even think we have any more magnets in stock, but stickers, we have coasters, we have window clings, stuff like that. I'm
not a window cleaner.
If you folks are into super nerdy stuff, check out our Etsy store. There's a link to it on our website, scarish.com, if you guys want to head on over there and check it out.
Indeed. So we're going to be racing Portal Purgatory for our final race of the evening. We don't have a record holder. We've actually never raced this one. That makes it exciting. Let's hope it's awesome. Let's hope it doesn't suck. Type in !play to get your marble ... on stream. There we go. We got a lot of people joining in. We had 15 last race. We're going to try and get 16 this race. We always try and finish the show +1 than we had for our first race. We are at 15. We just need one more person to join in so we can feel good about it tonight. Come on. Someone out there is listening to this right now, and they're like, yeah, I know I haven't, but I don't want to. You just got to type an ! Play into the chat. That's all you got to do. The Snark says, can you confirm your nerdy stuff is so cute?
It's can confirm, not can you confirm.
Can confirm. Oh, thanks.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. The Snark is one of my biggest supporters. I love it. Lunabin says, I keep hearing your name as Brit Nudes.
That's funny. All right, we need one more person. One more. We'll get going regardless. Yes. Thank you, Tianlong4028, for being our 16th. It looks like the world record is 35 seconds for this track, and it was Velo's Crack, which is a really weird name. All right, there we go. We're up to 17. Woo Scarish has decided to join in and play. Appreciate that. So I think we're going to get going here. If anyone else wants to join in, you still have 10 seconds from right now to do so and get a chance to win some free merch. And I can't wait for this to kick off so we can see what this track looks like. I wish I could explore, but I can't until it's free. Here we go. It's got a normal Plinko drop feeding into a bunch of different things, and then a fuck ton of portals. Things are going to get very interesting here. So we'll see who comes out in first place right now. It looks like it's going to be a lot of people with Laura Ann 588 leading the way and Valley Grills in second place. Tracks are going to deviate, and we'll see what winds up happening here. Tracks are deviating again. Looks like Valley Grills is going towards a portal. We got Amanda going towards a portal. 52 Nicks and Mike are also going down a different path with some bumps. There's a lot of portaling happening. Dear God, I can't keep up. Oh my God. Where is everyone?
Wow, all the portals are down there. Look at that.
The portals transfer you down there, and then eventually I think you're going to come out in a different spot. Phoenix 602 shot their shot and missed. Dre shot their shot and missed. Here we go. Valley Grills is on the way. I think you're next. I don't know where you were teleported. There it goes. Some people are going forward. Some people are going backwards. I have no idea how to tell when you're going to shoot towards this.
This is why it's purgatory. Oh, gosh.
Lunabin has been eliminated.
This is atrocious.
So which one's... Okay, here comes Cat Beatrix. Shot their shot and missed. Amanda and Brittnewt are both going to miss as well.
What is the percentage on this?
It's got to be super low. Actually, Phazon might have this.
Nope.
Ah, so close. The Snarked might actually have this. That looks like a good line. Congratulations. The Snarked wins. Here I go. I think I might have this. Fuck this game. Okay, a lot of people are dying. Robin is still alive. I seriously can't tell at all how you get in there. I think you have to be launched from the pulsating rods, and you just keep getting teleported backwards until you eventually get launched in the air or die.
Huh.
So the Snarked is the only person to complete this. Somehow, these folks were teleported behind the wall.
Holy crap.
So we had one person finish this. Congratulations, Snarked.
Wow. What?
They did not finish in order of when you died, which is hilarious. So that one was really fun, and I blame all of you who voted for it if you didn't like it. Someone actually finished this fucking track in 35 seconds.
Okay,
how the hell did they do that?
Do you guys want to do a different one? Because that was kind of a bullshit race.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
No one got to do... No one... I mean...
You're going to pull this victory away from the Snarked, who's now up to 31 points and in firm grip of first place.
Holy shit.
All right. Of course, you asked if people want to do another one, and they're saying yes. So I guess we have to do a third one.
I'm sorry, but that one was not a race. It was crazy.
It was a race to see who could have a series of unfortunate events lead to victory. So congratulations, Snark. Snark says, I can't pass my win. No one else finished but you.
We'll just go to dinner sometime soon anyway.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Go ahead and type an exclamation point vote in the space and the track you want to race
brunch.
for.
I like brunch too. Brunch is always
Let's
fun.
just do dim sum.
Ooh, dim sum. Dim sum delicious dumplings. Get it?
Everyone gets it.
All right, let's see.
Sweet talking, sugar-coated candy man.
Boop, 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 boop.
Actually, Phazon says, I was tempted to vote 31 again. That is fucking hilarious. If you would have put us back in the same racetrack, I would have died laughing. Maybe not died, but I would have laughed. I would have had a nice little chuckle buster, little rafflecopter. Oh, man. Once this is over, I shift immediately into I need to get this episode edited and then the website updated. And then once I'm done with that, I shift into what do I have to do at work tomorrow? And I really need to at some point shift into I'm going to play Borderlands 3 because I've had the game for about 5 days and I've installed it and not even started the damn thing. So hopefully it's good.
Let's see.
It's like Pixel's Procedural Pathway is currently in first place with 5 votes. Buckshot has 4 votes and Off the Rails has 3 votes, which is pretty sweet. That's pretty good distribution between 3 separate tracks. So we'll let it scroll by a couple more times.
Meadows asked if the Snarked wanted the sub. The Snarked is already subbed, so you can hold off and see who wins this one. Maybe if they're not subbed, that would be awesome. Let's see. Glitch says, I have a meeting tomorrow. I don't want adult. Yeah, I don't want an adult either.
I have 5.5 hours of meetings tomorrow.
I have a lab in the morning. I have a 3-hour lab in the morning.
Shout out to Megs Lara who just subscribed. We appreciate you.
I have a 3-hour lab in the morning. Then I have to run and get my teeth finished. I have a dentist appointment, so I have to get my teeth finished and then go back to school for my dynamics class. It's going to be fun.
Sounds dynamic.
It's going to be a lot of driving. And I think I'm going to have to stop at the jewelry store and get my ring inspected too before the month is over.
It's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
We're going to go with Pixel's Procedural Pathway, which finished with 5 votes. We're going to get this thing started. We have never raced it before. I will say that I hope I can clear some meetings off my schedule because I have a lot of shit to do. Exclamation point play to join in right now. We had 17 marbles last time. We need at least that. Hopefully one more. The scriptory is now here. So we should have, theoretically, 18 if everyone from last time raced.
Killsma,
plus.
welcome.
All right, there we go. Let's get up to at least 18. So hopefully everyone's still here that raced the first two. I really enjoyed the last one, but I guess we have to do it again. I'm realizing I'm saying, like, where is everyone? And I hadn't even joined in yet. There we go. We're up to 19. Good work, folks. The more we race, the more people we get.
Luna Bin says, tomorrow's pretty much a day off. I'm alone in the office half the day, so I can just hang out and get stuff done in peace.
Nice. I like having time to get stuff done. This fucking track, the world record holder did it in 23 seconds. This one's even faster than the last one, so we're going to see what happens with this one.
Well,
give you a little bit more time to join in if anyone out there wants to join.
Glitch said, I brought the Killsma.
Good work.
It's funny.
All right, 20 now. Megs Lara has joined in as well. There are all the marbles on stream. It's going to get weird here. We don't know how quickly we're going to finish this. Hashtag get weird. All right, click and start. 10 seconds from now to join by typing !play. Sweet talking sugar coated candy man.
Such a good song.
It's okay.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for subscribing.
We appreciate you subscribing for the third time. And away we all go. Dre looks like they're going to get out to an early lead. And then everyone else also is going to start falling down, down, down. Why is this track so fast? It looks like it takes forever. They must have, like, hit a blade or something like that and just spun to the very end. Because we're at, like, 17 seconds. Yeah, so at some point, somewhere, someone finished as of right now.
How is that freaking possible?
I don't know. They must have glitched it
system.
somehow. Yeah, they typed in exclamation point
plugged
hacks.
into the Matrix.
They hacked into the mainframe. Cat Beatrix is in first place with Megs Lara, the Scriptery, and Britt right behind. This is like super slow spinning fan blades, which I can't tell if I'm a fan of, but I don't think I am. However, Britt Newt is now in first place and getting stopped and started here. It's a long, winding road to get through to get down there. Tian Long has been eliminated. Cat Beatrix has been eliminated. There's some pulsating rods everywhere.
Yeah.
That is how. Someone got through that first part and got launched somehow in that direction and wound up finishing.
Oof,
I've been eliminated. Valley Grills has been eliminated. Looks like Amanda just got launched. Someone got launched. Glitch Grim has been eliminated as well. Valley Grills. All right, we still got people still surviving. Britt Newt is still in first place. Took a really good line through that fan blade. Here comes Amanda and Mike. Both powering through. Amanda takes first place right now. Laura and Megs Lara and Lunabin have caught up, but there's still a lot of track to go. This fan blade is moving so slow it's painful. Mike and Meg are now in first and second place with Amanda in third. People are still struggling to get there. We're going to go through some bumps and see how close we are to finishing. It's funny because you thought bumps and grinds, and I thought bumps on genitals.
Oh my God, what?
It's okay. It's not just because of STDs. It's just a funny joke from the Adventure Zone where, like, one of them gets knocked out, and they're like, "Can we go to the hospital? Can we go to a clinic? Is there a clinic in town? We need to get stuff checked out." And someone's like, "You mean like bumps on your genitals?"
Oh my God.
Megs Lara, Meadows, and Meadows are all fighting it out for first place. There's going to be a funnel here, which you guys all know I'm a huge fan of, followed by a trail that leads down to first place. I think Megs Lara, barring any crazy unforeseen circumstances, might have this. You didn't quite take the world record, Megs, but you did take the W. Congratulations on first place. Mike and Amanda are going to take second and third, with Killsma finishing out fourth, and the Scriptery and Robin are fighting it out for fifth.
Megs is also already subscribed. So,
Scriptery defeated Robin in the race for fifth. Everyone else is starting to trickle in now. Can't believe I died.
Meg says, "Pa pa 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 pow."
That's funny.
Sounds like a sound Liz would make with her mouth. Pa, pa, pow.
All right, we're just finishing out now. Let us know via email, message, however you'd prefer. A nice address. We can send you a small piece of Scary-ish merch to thank you for watching and for being victorious. And we will be happy to do that. And by we, I mean Robin. So thank you so much. It looks like Megs Lara is up to 20 points. I think you get a point for each marble that raced, but I'm not sure on that. Megs Lara is up to 20 points. Meadows is now up to 18. The other Meadows is up to 10. Looks like Robin's up to 12. Laura Ann's up to 11. The Snark goes up to 19. That's weird because you got points before. I don't know if they added it on. Maybe it'll catch up. And Phoenix is up to 18. So good stuff. Fun stuff.
Meadows
it's a fun game.
asked who doesn't have a sub. Anyone who doesn't have a little ghosty next to their name doesn't have a sub. So quite a few people. The Scriptery, Lunabin, Britt Newt, Phoenix 602. Whole bunch of people. Whole bunch of beeps. Beep beep.
Wow.
Beep beep beep. Beeps.
All right. So thank you to everyone who joined us watching live at youtube.com/Scarish or twitch.tv/Scarish podcast. You make these episodes so much fun, and it's always a blast when one of you is here to hear your story be read on the air, so we can kind of talk to you about what you sent in, and folks can let you know what they think. And everyone is really supportive, and it's really, really nice to see. So thank you to everyone who joins us. Thank you to everyone who sends us the stories, and thank you to everyone who listens. We appreciate all of you. We really, really do. And if you have a story to send, please go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast. You can message us that way. You can go to @scarishpod. Shout out to Lunabin, who just subscribed. It was a gifted sub from M Meadows 89.
Thank you so much, Meadows.
We appreciate you. It is September, so if you want to go over to our Twitch channel and subscribe, it's only $2.50. But Subway gives us the other $2.50, giving us $5 dues, or you can give us Jeff Bezos' money.
And before we end the episode, let me show you guys one more time the shirt that I'm wearing, our brand new shirt.
If you're listening, you can't see this. Yeah. You can only hear this.
No, yeah, you can only hear this. Sorry. So, shirt, front, and don't look at my butt, and back. So, I think they're cute. I don't know. I really like it. That's just me.
Fun stuff. You can also go and message us at ScarishPod on Twitch. At ScarishPod on Twitter. At ScarishPodcast on Instagram. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and send us an email. It's storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form. Send it our way. Let us know if you want us to share it on the podcast or if you're just sending that to talk to us and starting a dialogue. That is totally fine either way. Robin, for the folks who would like to donate to us monetarily, how can they do so?
You can go on over to patreon.com/scarishpodcast, and those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1, but we have a whole bunch of stuff on there. Discount codes for purchases at our Teespring store, stuff like that. And then we do have a coffee, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. We've been doing this for a whole year, and I can't believe I just messed that up. But
you trip up on the beginning sometimes. We've done this 170 times at least.
Go to ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. Those are one-time donations, and those help us upgrade our studio setup and our little computer here that's chugging away. Hopefully it's going to get upgraded soon. And
it is getting upgraded soon. I'm very, very excited to start getting stuff in the mail.
Yep.
Awesome. So thank you one more time to everyone. We appreciate all of you, whether or not you're one of those ghost listeners who never says anything and never reaches out to us and doesn't participate in like any of the stuff, but you just listen. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. Robin, I think that's everything we have for this episode, so go ahead and do that thing where you sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.